In the heart of a vast Scandinavian forest, where tall pine trees whisper secrets to the occasional elk and streams burble tunes reminiscent of forgotten folk songs, stood a tiny cabin. Made of timber hewn from the very forest it nestled in, the cabin boasted all the quaint rustic charm imaginable. Owned by the elusive Frida Fjords, a woman whose hairstyle could best be described as organized chaos, much like her life, the cabin was a haven from her bustling city existence. Frida worked as a professional snuggler in Oslo, a peculiar occupation that had become quite the trend. Upon reaching a saturation point of cuddling, Frida would escape to her cabin, armed with nothing but her wit and a basket of lurk, a Scandinavian delicacy involving fermented lingonberries and herring. Inside, every nook and cranny was thoughtfully decorated with an eclectic mix of vintage lanterns, hefty knitted throws, and a suspicious amount of gnomes whom Frida insisted were alive and communicated telepathically. The gnomes, Olaf the chatty, Bergen the cynical, and Inga the nostalgic, were always cleverly positioned in different spots around the cabin whenever Frida returned, much to her surprise and delight. The cabin was also home to a wood-burning stove notorious for having a vendetta against kindling, which Frida would valiantly battle each morning. Yet the real piece of resistance was the functional sauna room, lined with sleek wooden panels where Frida spent hours contemplating life's big questions. One blisteringly cold evening, as firelight flickered its shadowy dance across the cabin walls and Frida sipped her infamously strong cardamom coffee, she realized she was out of sugar and slippers, both essentials for any self-respecting cabin dweller. Resolved to brave the elements, she donned an oversized puffer jacket that made her resemble an adventurous marshmallow and waddled out to retrieve supplies from a small, rather out-of-place convenience store run by a retired sailor named Captain Bjørn. The fact that Captain Bjørn ended every transaction with a riddle was both a charming quirk and a test of patience for some. "What gets wetter the more it dries?" he'd ask cryptically with an arched brow. The cabin, the store, and its eccentric inhabitants were known in the region as Frida's Folly. Despite its name, Frida cherished every humorous detail and oddity about her retreat and considered it a piece of herself, where the only pretense was the telepathically mischievous gnomes, and the only stress was whether she'd have enough lurk for the weekend. The trips back to Oslo felt bittersweet, as she locked up the cabin and bid the gnomes adieu.